let's talk about the face filters for a second, because you're wearing one,
Mm-hmm.
and tell me more about this, and then from there, I want to talk about the face filters that you built for Chalayan.
Chalayan? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Chalayan. Yeah.
So, so yeah, I can wait. I'll put this on screen so we can see what those face filters look like.
And you have to tell us how you got into this, because it sounds like a little bit of this is self-taught.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
digital stuff is really self-taught because it's not really, first of all, it's not necessarily part of like it wasn't really part of the curriculum. Um, so and the thing is, like, I feel like for digital design and resources, like, keep it digital in a way. Like, I don't really know if like in real life university is exactly what you need, because there's so many resources and communities online that are incredibly helpful with this stuff. But
Hmm.
basically this kind of came about in a like this was because I worked on basically augmented reality for my graduate collection, something where you have like a real life background, and then an element of digital superimposed into it. So a face filter is like a pretty, like, you can see how it's like basically your face, and then there's a digital element added to it. And it's, the face filter is a super democratic way of having augmented reality. So they asked me to like recreate 3 of their archive pieces, because Chalayan has some like pretty like iconic kind of headpieces, but they're almost art pieces. There's like 1 of them, 2 of them, they exist only for the show,
Hmm.
but they're so defining of the brand aesthetic. So we were thinking, like, how do we kind of bring those like fine art pieces, the really unique pieces, to like a really wide audience. And that's kind of the purpose that we had with the filters, is taking those pieces and making them very, very accessible, which I think is quite interesting in terms of branding, but also in terms of sustainability and things like this, where you don't necessarily need to make something to a price point that is that necessitates very not super ethical production, but to get it to reach quite a lot of people.
Hmm. I mean, so we're all on Zoom these days, and we are, you know, you can use a face filter. I have a
Mhm.
filter on my Zoom. Um, but like, I wonder, we've also heard about video games incorporating high-end collections as a part of, options you can choose to
Mhm.
participate in games, and all of that. So, I mean, where do you think the future is going? Do you think people will be, you know, focusing more on their avatar when they're in meetings, or tell us
Mhm.
your thoughts about, because I mean, this is really, it's a way to, augmented reality is obviously, it's a way to further express yourself. We live in a time
Mhm.
now where we're all wearing masks and we're sitting in our homes.
Mhm. Yeah, I think, like, I think there's so many possibilities for digital design, like, because there's almost like levels of digital in a way. Like, augmented reality is, a mix of the real life and the digital, and then you've got this like entirely digital thing, which would be things more like VR, virtual reality, where it's like everything is digital and you experience those. There's really 2 options, I feel, for like full like virtual reality. Is, or you've got the Oculus, like VR goggles, um or like a very accessible one is like web VR, basically. So spaces on the web that are built in like 3D, basically, and that you navigate as an avatar. I feel like we're starting to, like, brands have started to get on board with this kind of like digital identity thing, especially over COVID, because no shows. Um, but for it, I think, to permeate really into people's lives, it has to be super easy and very fast.
Mhm.
It can't be like this super techie thing where you have to like download a ton of things. Like I, you know, and I feel like, you know, face filters are the one that has been the most adopted because it's so fast. Like on Instagram and things like this, it takes, you know, a second to like pick a filter, you know. And it's really adornment for your digital self, you know, in the same way that, yeah, like we talked about this last time, you know, in the same way that you dress up to like go to work or to step outside, you can dress up for a Zoom meeting. It's just that your options are a bit different, and